Hi guys, so welcome to our webinar. Today's webinar is going to be talking about how influencer marketing can be effective during the COVID-19 lah. So the thing is, like, a lot of people are confused. There is a huge chunk of us that feel like engagement on social media definitely gone up a lot, right? But yet at the same time, brands are also conservative about spending money at this point, because like, what's the point to spend to promote my product when nobody can go or nobody can buy or nobody can, so there's a bit of a mismatch there, but we are definitely seeing a huge influx of engagement on social media. And today we are going to joining me is Kalis and Karen, and Kalis and Karen will maybe introduce yourselves.
All right, hi guys. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kalis. So I've been in SushiVids since October 2018. Since then, I've been in sales team, been managing clients from beginning. I think started from minimum small value campaigns up to hundreds of thousands. So I can see that there's a lot of demands in influencer marketing lately. Ever since I started, to be honest, I have no idea about influencer marketing. So, and then day by day, I can see that the learning curve is really steep, like going up straight away. I was like, shoot, but it's okay.
Why did you do influencer marketing actually? Why did you join SushiVid?
I think it's a new way of marketing any brands. So I know that digital marketing back then was really was a booming thing, but I was thinking of tapping into new ways on getting that that kind of introduction to the market in a new way. Yeah.
Okay. How about Karen? Why don't you introduce yourself, Karen?
Hi, so I'm Karen. So now I'm no longer in sales team and I'm no longer in fulfillment team, but now I'm in a brand new team, which we call as CPC and live stream. So SushiVid, we launched 2 new platforms. So just for information, we launched new platforms. So the first one will be the commission based. We also can call it as a cost per sales platform, but we name it in another way with our brand name. So we call it as Confirm Plus Chop. It's like chop. Okay. Okay. So another platform will be live streaming. So basically in these two departments, right, we are engaging influencers to help brands to do the live streaming on maybe like e-commerce platform like Lazada and Shopee, and also do a cost per sales. But at the moment, I can say we are still paying the influencers, but not fully 100% commission based. We're still paying influencers because we want to get things roll first, we get the ball roll first. So if you guys are interested to do maybe cost per sales model or maybe live streaming, can contact me.
Okay, so we currently have about 10 people in our webinar. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much for accepting us changing the timing as well. The reason being is that we did, the person who set up the webinar, right, didn't set a limit, no. So suddenly our webinar got like a lot of people, the morning session. So we wanted to make it more tighter so that, people can ask more questions. So that's why we split it into 2 different sessions. And thank you so much for accommodating our change of time. And if you guys have any questions, there is a Q&A section below the screen, okay? There's a chat on the side, or I think for yours this side. And there is also a Q&A at the bottom. So please feel free to ask us questions. The reason why we wanted to make it a smaller, more intimate session is so that we can answer as many questions as possible, especially for your brand or your agency lah. Okay, so Kalis, why don't I get started with you? Can you share with us what are the sort of trends that you are seeing right now on social media during this COVID-19? Let's talk specifically for the MCO. What are the trends that you're seeing?
Okay, I'm going to share you 2 point of view. One is from my personal point of view, and the other thing is from the brands that I've been getting inquiries from. To be honest, I do occasionally scroll through Instagram, Facebook during working hours. I mean, working. So I can see there's a lot of postings from not just on Instagram, Facebook, and there's also a lot of TikTok challenges. I think some of you may have seen dalgona kind of recipe dalgona challenge, and also some dance challenge lately from TikTok. I think we find it, the reason why people are doing more creative contents on social media, one of the reasons is because we are all stuck at home. Instead of just working 24 hours, we also do scroll on Instagram. So I think there are a lot of demands, a lot of people watching and going through all the social medias. And from my brand's perspective, based on the inquiries, a lot of people are planning to tap into the market. So I think some of the brands, they wanted to do an event launch this month, but since we are all stuck at home, they tried to explore on other alternatives where they can actually promote their products, the promotions and such on. So one of the ways was, of course, digital ads. And then the other thing is more on influencer marketing, where they use influencers to promote the products. So there are different type of key messages. It depends on different brands. Some of them actually want to introduce a product where the key selling point was a bit of organic ingredients, and then it came from maybe Korea, Japan. And the other thing is what I would say, a special promotions, two buy two plus one and get one free.
Okay, from Karen, your perspective, what is the trend that you're seeing right now more hangat lah during the MCO period?
Okay, so I received a lot of inquiries from brand or agency about the live streaming. So I can strongly say that the demand for live streaming is really high for now, especially during this MCO, because everyone is like stuck at home. Everyone also work from home, and everyone cannot go out. So, but we need to remain the sales, we need to maintain the sales, we need to get the sales, right? So we turn another round. We cannot go out, never mind. We create like webinars, we create Google Hangouts, we do like live streamings, and then do some sales, do some promotion online. Because like I see that few of my friends, they are doing like sales jobs, but they are no longer can like meet the clients face to face. So they are now more turning into live streamings where they do like promoting the products online. And also you can see people that are not KOL or maybe live streamers, people are like normal people like us, also start to do live streamings and selling our products online, because we need, the life must go on and the sales must also move on, right? So I can see that the trend is slowly changing from social media platforms, like changing from the static pictures to video, slowly to the live streamings, I can say, because it's more interactive, like face to face talking to you. Yeah.
Okay, so Karen, what are the products that you're seeing that people are doing this live stream? Yeah, I also realized, I also started live streaming, by the way, guys, just because if we want to do, if we want to sell live stream, then we should, for my business lah, I decided that I should also try to be an influencer and see what it's like to be live streaming. And I must say it's no easy feat lah. It's quite difficult. But Karen, what are some of the products that you're seeing, like, the demand for live stream is coming on for?
Okay, so the products, the top three products I can say is definitely the first one is beauty and skincare products, because normally we get this product from the retail store, from like Watson, Guardian, or maybe any shopping malls. Then the top two I can say is like F&B products, because we cannot go out to a mall and have our dinner or lunch. So we normally now is like get the delivery service, and also like the products that are gadgets products, also high demand for live streamings, because we need someone to actually teach us like how to use the products. Because when you go to like maybe some shops, there will be a promoter talking about products, explain to you how to use the products, everything like that. But for live streaming, I can say that the smaller items are more effective and convenience for us to do live streamings compared to big items. Because for example, the small item that we can put on table and we can start to do live streaming for like and hours. But if you are a brand that are selling like big items like furniture, mattress, during the MCO, we cannot go to your store or your factory to do a live stream promoting your products there. So we are more looking during this MCO for live stream, we are more looking at like small items like beauty products, F&B products, or maybe gadgets products. Yep.
Okay, but Khalis, what about you? What are the products that you are seeing, promoting via social media right now?
Okay, when I first look at the trend, right, the first 2 weeks, I saw a lot of people promoting, not more promoting only, in terms of people also wanting to get all these necessary items, and also all this personal hygiene stuff, like the face masks, shampoos, hand sanitizers. That was the first 2 weeks, and then third, fourth week, I can see there's a lot of expansion in terms of where people actually wanting other stuff. For me myself, right, when I stuck at home, besides working and also scrolling through Instagram, so I tend to feel like, I don't know what, I just feel like I need to clean the house. So when I go through to my one of my place where I put my brooms and such on, I feel like, hey, I forgot, I don't have a vacuum. So in that sense, I was like, okay. And then suddenly I saw a few e-commerce, a few ads from e-com and also brands promoting vacuums. I don't know. I think maybe Google tracked me. I don't know. So I thought there's a lot of trends going there. I was like, okay, I might get one. So until now, I don't know. I'm not a person who is easily influenced by all this vacuum stuff. But then I might one day. But I did bought a lot of sprays, which I've never bought any before.
Okay, so you are saying the household products are
Yeah.
hung out right now, and then of course, from Karen's side, is all the food, the recipes, all the Dalgona coffee ingredients. Of course, we also see the challenges. There are a lot of these mugshot challenge, and all these are probably could be something related to the makeup brands. You think?
Yeah, because
I
people
also think like somebody must have started some trend and make. I mean, if a brand could tag along the mugshot challenge or something, that would be like really awesome lah. My next question actually is this the time to do influencer marketing actually?
From my perspective, why not? I mean, to be honest, that's like I mentioned earlier, that even if myself, I'm scrolling through all the Instagram, Facebook feeds, people actually are using these platforms to kill their time. To be honest, not just watching Netflix. I think when you watch the whole drama on Netflix, of course, at one point when you go toilet, you take. There's a bit of time you're going to scroll through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then suddenly you feel like, hey, I'm doing this challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. For myself, I also asked a few friends of mine. They are using TikToks to create all these videos. Well, I don't know. I think TikTok is a good idea as well. Yeah.
Karen, what about you? Do you think it's time to do live stream, or or should they wait some more? Because I mean, there's always this skeptical of like, should I spend now because now it's kind of like COVID-19 and then maybe no stock or whatever, or should I wait until after the dust settle a little bit?
Okay, so from my point of view, I would suggest you to do live stream now, because the live stream market in Malaysia is still fresh, and we do have so many competitors. So if you are decided to like, okay, I hold on during this COVID-19 first, but later on, if you don't do any brand awareness or promotion during now, after the COVID-19, maybe like 1 or 2 months later, people will forget about your brands. Then they will become a new brand coming up. So during this specific moment, right, you can do live stream to like, no need to really to sell your product, but you can like guide people, educate people about your product's history, and maybe some bestseller you can get, because nowadays people cannot, the mall are closed. We can't go to any shopping malls, any place, unless those grocery store to buy our things like makeup things. So we need to do live stream to remind people that, hey, actually your site is on. You have a website. You are having some like promotion on your e-commerce website. So live streaming is to help you to recall the brands in another way to promote your brands and products. So I can say that you should do it now because you become the highlight, I can say. Because everyone is like on their social media platforms looking for, like hunting for cheapest promotions and to kill their time.
Yeah, even for me, I'm also seeing, for example, right, I'm looking at it from the price perspective. I feel that because suddenly influencers got no destination to go, they got no restaurants that are sponsoring them at this point, unless got delivery. There are no travel people sponsoring them at this point. There are no events that they can attend to launch anything. So actually, yes, everybody else is online, but the demand for influencer marketing, I mean, the amount that pay on the demand for influencer marketing that is paid actually gone down as well. So we have started to negotiate pricing with the influencers, and some, I mean, not all, some of them maybe haven't felt the impact yet, but like a few, at least 1 in 5 of our influencers have come back to tell us that okay, we are okay to reduce the price by 10%. So actually, there is this ability to get a better rate now as well, just because the influencers are also they understand that the market is slow, country is going through, I mean, globally we're going through a crisis, so they're actually willing to reduce their price, follow the times. They're also willing to do that. My next question will be a little bit, let's get straight to the point now, okay? Kalis, can you tell us, for 10,000 ringgit lah, katakan I have 10,000 ringgit, I'm a vacuum cleaner company. What can I get for 10,000 at this point?
Okay, if I see a vacuum cleaner in any place, right, any platform, any brands, the first thing as a customer, I want to see a discount. Second thing, I want to see a free delivery. So in terms of brand's perspective, right, it depends on how you want to look at your customer. So there are certain brands I'm working with. Is the idea is to reconnect back with the consumer, and other things that you can look into is how do you make yourself still relevant even though during the MCO. So I know some of you are doing events. So how do you convert that idea of event into where customer can still look at your products, such on? So maybe you can do like I mentioned, I think Karen can help you on the live stream, or maybe you can hire any influencer to promote the product, or maybe you can present the products to the influencer and they do a review on that. There's a lot of ways we can step into. The other thing for me, like you say, if you're planning to spend 10,000, I can roughly give you. Of course, it depends on your content direction now. So, like just say, if you're trying to promote a product,
vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum cleaner. It is that in certain short period of time, like you say, promotion is buy one free one, for example. I can give you maybe roughly about 100 seeders to do 2 IG stories.
Oh, but we can't send 100 vacuums to 100 seeders.
Correct. So, so there's 2 ways to promote the vacuum. One, of course, if you want to send a product to the influencer, that's one thing. The other thing is you just want to shout out. You have your own, I would say, digital picture that you want to shout out to all these people in the large market. So you can actually use the IG story to push it out that way. Yeah.
Okay, Karen, what about you? For 10,000, what can we get with live streaming for Lama? How come I cannot? Okay, now we can see you bigger now. Okay, for 10K for live stream, for example, or maybe whatever pricing package that you have in mind. But what would you do? Would you take the big influencers or would you take the small influencers? Would it be on the sellers live stream? Because a lot of sellers or brands, they like to ask us, should I do it on my Facebook or the influencers' Facebook? Maybe we don't talk about price. Why don't you answer whether they should do it on their Facebook account or the influencer's Facebook account?
Okay, so this is a good question. So basically for both account, right, I would suggest to do on both account, because for the seller account, right, your own brand account, because you are the expert, so you are expert the product, you expert the brand, so you are the one who need to educate and guide people and maybe show them that what is the correct way to use the certain products, like if, for example, makeup products. So what is the correct way to apply the foundations, and how to make it cleanser and how to like use the brush to make it more fair. So you are the expert. So you are the one who need to guide people how to use it on your seller account. But you at the same time, you also need to engage the influencers to help you do live streamings on their own account because they have a lots of followers on their account. And the reason why you need to engage them because they are the one who have a lot of followers and they can help you to help build your brand awareness, create your brand reputations, and also help you to promote about the ongoing promotions which you are having now. So for my suggestion, right, you need to do the education things on your own account and you engage the influencer to help you to promote about the promotions and call to action the promotion, the followers to your brand account to make the purchase.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Kalis, what about you? What do you think about the call to action for influencer marketing is right now? What should the call to action be?
Actually, it depends. For like just say if you're there's a lot of ways you can do it. Like this from brand perspective, I know that some of you really want to push all the products.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the ways is to do promotion and give maybe some added value to your customer in a sense where, like you say, you are selling this vacuum, and then when you purchase the vacuum, not just you get discount, free delivery, you're also giving them free sanitizers or another things that they will really appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And other things also, maybe we can tap into not just in getting more sales, it's more of like building that brand loyalty from the customer, which is maybe through charity drive, or maybe you can contribute back on how your brand can actually help the customer back. Yeah.
Let's talk about this goodwill, this charity. I mean, a lot of people are, want to help. It's a genuine thing. A lot of people genuinely want to help the rakyat, right? Then a lot of people are doing a lot of these kind of things. What are some of the suggestions that you can think of when it comes to this type of charitable drives? Any that come to mind that you thought that was a damn good idea or something?
One of the things that I can think of right now, maybe you can, let's just say you are selling a pool of spices for food, right? Or maybe and then also we can collaborate with other brands as well. Maybe you can collab with another brand who does sell spaghetti. So and then we can put in like a hamper, and then we provide to those who needs these kind of things, that who can't afford to buy food at the moment, because I think some of them are affected during this MCO. Maybe some of them have lost their jobs, some of them can't do business because they are selling food at the roadside and such on. So these kind of brands who provides all these items, that they can actually cross collab, and we are actually in the midst of planning to do a hamper kind of idea where we collab with 3, 4, 5 brands, and then we send it out maybe to all these unfortunate people, or maybe we can give to all these frontliners. It depends on. To be honest, we are still crafting out some ideas.
Okay, cool. There's a question from the audience. Dominic, hi, nice to meet you. Your question is, will the growth of micro-influencer, will the audience or follower market get saturated? I may just take the question direct. I think that there are more and more people online. So naturally, there are more hours. Because last time, maybe we can go out, we can go gai, we can go to shopping mall, everything, right? So we didn't need to only be on social media, but now our outlet of entertainment has like shrunk to like only social media plus Netflix plus our little bit of gardening. The garden takes so long to grow, right? I have to grow a lot of patience myself. But yeah, when it comes to the option that people have for entertainment has gone down, so the screen time on social media has gone up a lot. So even though you can say it's like it gets a bit saturated, but I think as a whole, there are a lot more people online, more hours that are on social media either way. So I think not so much until not so affected until to say that it's already oversaturated at this point. Okay, I want to move along to another question. Karen, for 10,000, katakan my brand is coffee powder lah. Let's talk about coffee powder. If for 10,000, what would you do?
Okay, if you have 10,000, then you can do like live stream, of course. I'm promoting live stream. So for live stream, right, you can do any.
Oops, I think I'm detecting Karen stuck. Kalis, do you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we just take Kalis to maybe Kalis talk first lah. Okay. Can you tell us for 10,000 traditional influencer marketing for coffee powder, should they do micro or seeders or macro or alpha? Tell us, what would you do if you are a coffee brand?
Okay. It depends on the objective, of course. If you're looking for sales, then you can try to give more promotions, free delivery. For example, like the one I mentioned. If you're looking at to show that to the audience that your coffee is different than the rest, you can actually tap into educating the market on why your coffee is better than the rest during the MCO. Maybe we can aim on the ingredient itself, where it came from, and maybe anyone who purchased your product, you can give like a certain amount of that sale you give to a charity. There's a lot of ways we can do that. We can tap into during this MCO. So, for example, in terms of how many influencers you can get for 10K, I can roughly lay out the package. Maybe we can engage roughly about 6 micro influencers with 10K to 50K followers to do one IG video, one IG static picture, and 2 stories. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Something like that. But if you guys have any other requests, like you want to tap into macro or seeders, you can just we can actually discuss further on that, because this is just some sample ideas and packages that I can give you a guidelines to.
Okay, basically, let me ask you, how much does it cost to engage one influencer, 100,000 followers and above, to do one IG photo? How much? Right, just a average lah, so that our audience, because a lot of times influencer marketing is such a price situation. It's like, we don't know what's a good price, but at the same time, that's the whole point we have a platform like SushiVid, right? It's because we want to standardize pricing across the board. Of course, some influencer will be 200 ringgit more, some influencer 100 ringgit more, some maybe they are Miss Malaysia plus influencer, so they are 1,000 ringgit more, right? But even though there is no set formula when it comes to pricing, there must be some average, like, maybe like a bell curve, sort of like 80% of the people that is in the 100,000 category is this price one. There's the anomaly, the Miss Malaysia plus influencer that's like maybe 2,000 more, or there's some Anak Tan Sri that's like few thousand more. But then the rest of the average should be within the 80%. Like the 80% should be in the normalized price category. So, like for example, 100,000. Just think of one person. How much for one IG post?
100,000 to 300 roughly per influencer. Like you say, if she's a well-known influencer, she can go from 2,005 to 5K per picture post, depending. If we are fortunate enough, which actually we have so far, we have built some relationship with some of the influencers, with big ones. I think they market themselves at certain price above the average, but when we engage them, they can give slightly cheaper price.
Okay, so how about you share with us as well? Is it better to use one influencer for 6 months, or should we keep changing them up?
I would say it's better to have a diversity, so that not just that audience look at just one influencer. So when you have a lot of influencers, there's a lot of people looking at their product as well, and then it's back to where is your objective is. If you are looking at a brand ambassador, you can have like maybe a pool of 10. If you're looking at a mass market, I would, based on the campaigns I have done, I would say it's better to have a lot of influencers, so that it's better to reach to different target audience as well.
Okay, so Wanda asked, macro influencer with millions of followers or micro, which one gives you a higher reach? So just say I have 10,000, I spend on two, three macro KOLs versus 10,000, I get 100 micro KOLs. Which one gets the better reach?
Okay, it also when I do all the campaigns, right? I analyze macro, micros, mid-tier, such on. So some campaigns, to be honest, micro has more reach compared to macro, and some campaigns macro has more reach compared to micro. One of the things that I can see is it depends on the content direction itself. It depends on who are the influencers. So whenever I propose something to the client, I would roughly put an estimation of 10% of the total followers will be their estimated reach.
Okay, so 10% of people will be reached. Actually, that makes sense as well. Because, I mean, there's only that many hours that we are scrolling our phones, right? And every time we scroll, it feels like you can't cheat the system by scrolling faster, or it can't display more for you per that time. And sort of like Facebook, they all also have their own algorithm that even if I have 1 million followers, they only display mine to say a set amount of numbers. So they're not going to let me just because I have 1 million, all 1 million can see. It's kind of like we are capped by Facebook's algorithm as well, unless the post is so viral, people keep sharing it, right? But in a normal day-to-day, for example, shout out about your sale or your promotion, it's very difficult for us to achieve that virality to begin with. So unless the content is really prank and funny, it rarely gets the made up reach that you can get, because it's not so shareable. The next question from Dominic: hard sell or soft sell is more effective? Okay, so maybe I can speak from the live stream perspective since Karen's not around, and then Kalis can speak from the normal perspective. Kalis, what do you think? Hard sell or soft sell?
To be honest, from my personal point of view, I like when someone actually soft selling the products. But if your promotion is like buying a TV with 50% discount, why would you want to soft sell that? Just say 50%, 70%, right? So it depends. It depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking to educate, we can do soft sells. It will be nice. But if you find it like you want to educate and then
the soft sell type is like the education type you're saying is more like we don't expect it to get all the reach now, but like lambat, as and when people want to search for the content, they will find it. Is it the education type lah?
Yeah.
Okay. For this educational type content, should we do it on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, right? Blog? What do you think?
Okay. When you want to educate, to be honest, when you want to educate, you want to spread the knowledge, right? It will be best, from my experience, we either do through videos or maybe blogs. So where people can actually have time to digest your information and then think about it and do much more research. If you do at picture post, you can, but then of course in the captions it's quite limited. Sometimes it can be lengthy. So that's where some people actually feel like just scroll to the next one.
I also think that it's better to put this on YouTube. This is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's better to put on YouTube because Google is more search friendly. YouTube is a Google product, so Google is more search friendly. But nobody will go to Instagram and search for like how to use a vacuum.
Correct.
So it's more of a YouTube. It's more of a blog type content. I just want to follow up on a question from a question earlier. Should you do one macro or multiple micros? Okay, so just to give you an example, if just say one person say this is good, I will think okay lah, maybe lah. But if just say 10,000 people tell me that this is good, then I'm like, oh, okay, I will really believe, because majority wins lah. So it really depends. I'm answering Wanda's question now. So it really depends on how much of that content requires building trust. and versus, is it just a shout out? If it's like just a sales shout out, yes, get one big influencer might be good. But if just say you want, to spread a word that, hey, this is really good, then maybe getting more people will be better, and more unique contents as well. One macro influencer, you're paying for the reach, but a lot of micro influencers, you are paying for reach as well as unique contents, because the influencers are making unique contents for you. So if just say you have your social media and you don't have such a strict branding guide, right, you could also get all these 100 influencers to make the content ready, right? Then slowly you reshare them on your social media, that because it's all unique contents. So I think it depends. If just the one influencer, then it's all about the reach only. But if it's a lot of micros, you are also considering their unique, their unique contents. The next question.
Oh yeah, when I want to add on that. So let's just say we use the concept of a billboard, right? So let's just say there's one billboard on the highway, for example. We can say that one billboard is one influencer, big influencer. But if you see when you drive, after the MC, when you drive, there's a lot of billboards promoting a lot of that product. One billboard is promoting that, then like hundreds of them. Subconsciously, you feel like, hey, what's that product about? So it goes back to influencers. So let's just say you are following one big influencers. It's like your feed is like, okay, just one, you scroll down. But imagine that if that person follows like 100, roughly about similar influencers, subconsciously that person will think, what is this product about? What is this campaign about? Such on.
It just keeps recalling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dominic's question on hard sell versus soft sell. I would like to add on behalf of live streaming. If you are selling, if you are live streaming a seller account on, say, Shopee or Lazada, or any of your that place that connects to e-commerce one, right? Then please do hard sell, because people that are already on these e-commerce marketplaces, right? They're already there with the mindset they want to shop on. So the hard sell works, right? If it's on the e-commerce marketplace type platforms. If the live stream is more like just recommendation, or like on Instagram or what, right? Instagram and Facebook, the kind of live stream, right, is not really the call to action. People's mindset when they go to Facebook and Instagram, right, it's not like, oh, I want to buy. So the approach on Instagram and Facebook should be less hard sell, should be more just subtle lah. So one, it depends on platform, and two, also depends on whether you have a really compelling story to sell to begin with. So if just say you have a crazy promotion, and this is very important, right? Because just say I have this next to me. I have this bottle I bought from Sasa, okay? Just this was buy two free one at Sasa, and I bought it, and it's good. But if just say I can buy in Sasa for 10% off, or like if just say you only offer 10% off, right? Then as a user, I will not be enticed to buy because it's only 10%. Then I might as well just go Sasa and buy lah. But if just say, right, I watch the live stream now and you're telling me it's 50% off today, while this live stream lasts, it's 50% off. Then obviously I will jump on the bandwagon and buy, right? Because it's 50% off. I'm not going to wait next time. Later I pass by Sasa only, I buy. So it comes down to also your promotion as well. How much promotion you're willing to. How much is your promotion like at that point in time? Next question from Hazel. What would be the ideal poll for a campaign in order to see the significant result? 10 to 15 or 30 to 50? I don't really understand. 10 to 15,000 followers or 10 to 15 influencers? Hazel, I will need you to clarify that for us. Justin has a question. What's the definition of micro versus macro? Kalis, you want to give that a shot?
All right. To be honest, different agencies, different brands have their different perspective about the number of followers, macros, to be honest. So I think some of you might get confused on this. So for us to make it easier, micro influencers, we consider them anyone who has 10K to 50K followers, while macro is 100K to 300K followers.
Okay, and then beyond 300K is alpha lah. Then what about seeders? We have this category called seeders.
Yes, seeders are the ones who has 2K to 10K followers within that range lah.
Okay, so I noticed as well from the sales that we have done in our company, right, that a lot of people like to take the 2K to 10K. And then not a lot of people like to take the 50K to 100K. Because I think, why do you think that's the case? Like 2K to 10K, got a lot of people want to take. Because I guess maybe the price is really like they just slightly become influencers, so the price is slightly cheap. And then 10K to 50K also still not bad. And then of course a lot of people want the 100K and above lah. But the 50 to 100K is kind of like a very mengada category, you know. Like they are big, not to say not big, right? Not easy to get. I mean, I'm still struggling to hit my 2,000 followers, but you know, they are not to say small. But then the demand for that category is kurang, you know. Any idea why?
Sorry?
The category, the flow to the 50 to 100,000 followers category, they seem to be in low demand somehow compared to 100K and above or the 50K and below. Any reason?
One of the things that I can think of is right now, it depends on maybe it's due to the pricing, because seeders are slightly cheaper compared to the macro, but at the same point, they can actually get maybe at the same level of the result or maybe higher. It depends as well.
Okay, so for me as well, I feel that the 50 to 100, right, they kind of feel like they are the most confused category when it comes to pricing, because they are not below 50K. They are not above 100K, so they can't charge the 100K category. They cannot charge the below. Then a lot of them, they try to immediately go into the 100K category pricing, which becomes ridiculously expensive for their reach. Like, I mean, logically speaking, if I have 50,000 followers and you have 100,000 followers and we are the same price, obviously I'll take you over me, right? Yeah, so that's one category that we think is you can look at it from a pricing perspective, but also, right, they are the underutilized bunch. So just say if a lot of them got a lot of campaigns, right, the 50 to 100,000 category actually is a good category to go for because they don't have so many endorsements. It's like a plateau for influencers. No? If they survive that category, right, then they will really become influencers after that, like really become the macros. But if they don't survive the 50 to 100K category, they don't grow, they don't do campaigns, they will usually fade out because, you know, they realize that this is not lucrative. So that is one opportunity that I think a lot of brands they don't tap into that category, and they should, because it's the underutilized. If you can find a good hidden gem, it can be the pricing you can make a good price arbitrage. So Hazel came back. Should we use 10 to 15 influencers or 30 to 50 influencers in a campaign?
Okay. As mentioned earlier, it actually depends.
This Khalid like to give depends answers on. Can you give me more straightforward bit? Give me a
I know, right?
your answers so depends, bro.
There are a lot of cases when in my previous campaigns where they engage 10K to 15 influencers, but then they can get a lot more sales compared to 30, 50. So like I mentioned, it depends on the message. It really depends on. So if you're looking at promoting your products, it would be best for me, I would say you have a lot of influencers to spread it out. It's not just in terms of reach, also in terms of you can actually aim into the new target audience as well. Because each influencers, even though they have, like just say 10K to 50K followers, but then if you have a lot of them, they might have different followers. So it spread out the news on in some way.
Actually, I also think it's good to test. If you have just say 10 to, if you engage 30, right, then you can kind of like, you build your assumptions properly first. Like for example, okay, just say I got a budget of 10,000, right? I will spend 5,000 on urban, 5,000 on non-urban. Or I can test, okay, I will spend 5,000 on videos, 5,000 on photos. So there's ways you can test content to find what works, rather than to engage 10 to 15 or 30 to 50. Rather have the hypothesis first of what you're testing, then only plan the influencers. So for example, I always tell my clients like, okay, if just say it's a brand new product, first time doing influencer marketing, I'll tell them, okay, I would first choose to do YouTube, Instagram, blogs, Facebook. I will do all the platform first. Then I'll see which platform is effective. Then I will plan maybe different time schedule of posting, maybe different kinds of posting. I will test Malay versus Chinese. I will test female versus male. Those kind of tests is very important. So you can do that with the seeder level. That means you start with the seeders. You try different types of audience demographic. Then when you find the demographic sweet spot ready, right? Then you double down and get an alpha that has that kind of demographic. That is a better approach than to really just immediately tell you to take whether 30 to 50 influencers. I mean, I hope I answered your question, Hazel. Hi, Naj. Your question, which platform media is the best to go with influencer marketing if your geo area target is Malaysia? Kalis, do you have an answer for Naj?
I'm going to give you two perspectives as well. As an individual, I tend to spend more time on Instagram, slightly on Facebook. I think because my age as well. I don't spend much on TikTok. But if I look at my younger brother or my niece, they tend to spend more time on TikTok because it's very entertaining for them. But if you're looking at the age group, maybe 30, 35 and above, they tend to spend more time on Facebook, where they can actually disseminate some informations, look at their favorite celebrities and such on. So in general, the campaigns I have done before, they do mix and match. So some of them actually do focus more on Instagram, because a lot of nations are using Instagram now. Even though we're stuck in traffic, we still use Instagram. We go toilet, we go school Instagram. After Netflix, we go on Instagram. So if you want to mix both, we can. It's just that we need to find influencers who has Instagram and mix and then synchronize to Facebook page, something like that. And if you want to tap into TikTok, we can, but we need to take a bit more. To be honest, we need to get to TikTok approval on that.
Okay, Hazel has another question. Campaign period should spread throughout 1 month or 2 weeks?
I would personally say 1 month, because when someone posts a picture, like you say, you don't follow them, right? It takes time for Instagram algorithm to put that post inside your explore page, and if it lasts for if it spread to 1 month, at least some audience who have not seen it within that 2 weeks, they can actually see it after a month. So, yeah, but not too long.
Staggered because of timing of the posting. From our perspective, for execution perspective, try to do it within 2 weeks. Because you know why? It's a lot of effort for us as an agency to, one day do one post, and next day do another one post, then 1 week later still got one post. It's like I can never close the campaign because there is like 1-2 nagging influencer belum buat lagi. So if you ask me from an execution perspective, it's better to shorten, just because we want to close the campaign and move on already lah. But from Kalis's perspective, of course, maybe drag longer so that people who may have missed it didn't miss this time. Yeah. Okay, I think there are no other questions from the audience. Maybe I'll pick another question from my question reserve. Okay, Kalis, if I have a Raya, because now all of us are concerned, Raya is coming soon, but then nobody is, we don't know whether we're going to have Raya. We don't know whether the Ramadan bazaars are going to happen and all that. You just say I'm a brand that, really, really counts on Raya to bring in the sales. What do you recommend?
Whenever someone say about Raya, right, the first thing that comes into my mind is more of a family bonding thing. So let's just say, I'm not saying it will happen. Hopefully it doesn't. If MCO tend to extend another 1.5 months, the thing we can actually explore on family bonding time. So let's just say I am not staying with my parents, and my parents are somewhere in Kedah, something like that. So I still want to communicate with them. So we can have a bonding session in a sense where we can just do a video call kind of concept, and then maybe we can send the products that the influencer purchase, so that it's easier for their mom, their dad to prepare the food for Raya. Maybe do a cookie challenge. My mom does it better than yours, something like that. Or maybe my mom can cook something like that.
Okay, so I also noticed that there were a lot of creative use of technology during this period. Like, for example, in the US, we saw one campaign by Burger King, right, where they actually tell influencers to tell the citizens to do some homework. Then after you do your homework, because everybody's at home, right? So they say if you complete your homework or you complete this maths question, they will give you a free Whopper burger. And those are things that we can get users to do. Maybe we get influencers to initiate the first spread, right? But we can then get users to do the challenge, like the Burger King one, where if you solve this mathematic question, they give you a free Whopper burger the next time you visit. So those are very creative ways to time your messaging, right, according to the current times, which is like everybody's at home. So consider, like, how can help parents to do fill up their children's time. That's one, I think, super headache. This is sort of like every parent is like firefighting that problem, like, because they're struggling to find activities for their kids to do. So if brands could consider finding activities that the children can do, right, would really, I think you will save the parents a lot lah. There's also I've seen like live videos where people do choir. There's a church during the Easter service. They posted because everybody social distance, right? They cannot sing choir together, but then they were able to do choir via Zoom. So the stage, right, is just a screen of 40 people, and then the conductor that's doing that whole thing, and some musicians. But everybody in the choir, right, was just done via Zoom, and that was quite a magnificent thing to see, right? Even though they were not physically there, they were able to utilize Zoom to do a choir together. So I think there are all these other creative ways that we should tap on, because if it's only during these creative times, right, we will come up with this type of unique ideas to COVID-19. Otherwise, everybody is just going to do the same stuff. So these type of ideas, I think, it takes the creative mind to work on. So if you guys and it's very hard for us to give you all samples, like, right now, because it's like it has to be specific brands, like Burger King, the Whopper burger type, like it has to be specific brands. So you guys can reach out to us directly. Then we will happily maybe propose some ideas. Are there any
when I just want to add on, so let's just say for Raya, right, I think some of you may have known that some bazaar locations are not permitted to run on later. So I think all these small enterprises, they can't sell stuff, and then maybe some of them are affected during Raya. So I was thinking, right, what if that certain brands we work with, we can do some kind of charity work. It's not purely I would say give money in sense. We can also give, like, since some of them are not fortunate enough to celebrate Raya, maybe anyone who purchased the brand's product, they can actually put money. We just give inside a foundation, and then the foundation give the product. Or maybe you can, as a brand, you can give the product, essential products, to that family and such on. We can just tap into on certain brands and such.
Yeah, I think the whole Raya period, I think, and also because of the economic downturn, there is an element of goodwill that we can really play on. I also want to add on that Raya is also a spirit of togetherness, right? So there's also a lot of things that we can do in collaboration. So for the past few years during Raya, we love to give hampers to our influencers. So the influencers will take a picture of the hamper. So it could have, last year we had like munchies lah, popcorn, and we have like some beverages. And so the influencers take a picture of the hamper of like 3-4 different brands. I mean, non-competing brands lah. And everybody gets the coverage at half the price, because somebody else, another brand, tap along. So the price has kind of like for the same price, we package the hamper and we send it to the influencers. but we divide the cost by 3 brands lah. So that's one way that we can also consider for Raya, the hamper style, which I like. Because it makes the price a lot more attractive. Justin has a question. Are there any similar platforms like SushiVid in the market, and how are we different? I think this question maybe I answer because I'm the founder of the company. To be honest, I didn't really consider competitors for a very long time, just because I am a solo founder, and so my own business pun tak boleh nak habis really someone to control, someone to care too much about my competitors, so I never really care. But what I can say is that a lot of different people have different directions for the business. So to give you an example, a competitor that I have that came in from Indonesia, they started off with influencer marketing, but now they also provide photography, videographers, creatives, they provide agencies, so they become more creative side lah. Whereas SushiVid, we are more e-commerce centric. So we focus on influencers, and then now we have live streaming, and then we have commission-based influencer marketing, which means, we will do live stream for you, and then you've got product sell, only you pay, don't sell, no need to pay, So our model has moved towards, we have influencer marketing, and then we have live stream, and then we have commission based. Whereas the other company, they have all kinds of creative They have a photographer and videographer and all that. So it's slightly different. I have other players that I have seen. They do influencer marketing plus they do training. That means they train influencers. So they have a training component. Whereas for SushiVid, our training is free of charge. So anybody can join our masterclass. Anybody can watch our resources on YouTube. Our blogs always have new content. We provide YouTube videos for free to teach people how to edit videos. We do webinars on editing. We don't charge for training, but some other company charge for training. So it's a very broad spectrum, right? And then there are those that they only manage their influencers. That means I'm an agency that manages just 5 or 7 influencers. So it's like a job hunting, right? You can go from a job street all the way to a headhunter like Michael Page. So there's a huge spectrum and it depends where people are. For SushiVid, I like to think that we are a company that focus on scale. We focus on doing a lot. That means my favorite kind of campaigns, right, is the type where we engage 300 influencers to go for a concert. That kind of campaigns are huge, and it requires a lot of processes. Because we need to process payment for 300 influencers, we need to vet through 300 contents or more. We need to manage analytics for 300 influencers. So it's and the content direction and all that. So we like to do things that are scale. That's our main specialty versus I guess some others who are more like, I only handle 5 influencers, but my 5 influencers are, they really follow the branding, really follow your ambassadorship, that kind. So we're slightly different in that sense. What do you think the online consumption pattern after MCO? Will they continue to consume more hours on digital? How will this impact the current posting pattern data? Definitely, we are all social creatures. So the moment MCO is lifted, we're all going to go out. We're going to go meet our friends. We're going to have our drinks. I'm already making plans with my friends. I have some friends in the US I was just talking to yesterday, and I said, guys, let's not wait another year. The moment the travel ban is lifted, I'm going to come and visit because, time is so precious and you never know who among us might become a victim to the COVID-19. So I think we are social creatures. For sure, the consumption online will jatuh because we are all cooped up in the house for so long, So with the moment the market reopens, right, I think we will spend less time online, more time outside. But I think a lot of us have realized. Okay, sorry, Galis, I'm hijacking your session, but I want to add on. I think it's a huge realization for millennials as well. I think the impact to them is the biggest compared to the impact for the rest of us. I'm not a millennial, but the reason being, right, is that they have always had the instant gratification. I want to do it now. They must be hip. They must go for the best, latest bubble tea. They must have the most trendiest. And the whole need it now type mentality, right? Versus now when we can't do a lot of things, is very our lifestyle has become so activity based, because you can't really go out and then just take a picture with this really nice Instagrammable location. Now you kind of like really need to sit down and make your dalgona coffee, in order for you to take that picture. So the mindset has definitely shifted a little bit to more activity based. I think the millennials are starting to realize that they need to do more, and they're learning some patience, because the plants take time to grow, not so like can just take an Instagram photo. I think that those mindset shift in us is good, and there will be a little. I think that's one of those changes that I can foresee, that people will have more activity based type thing, rather than always just going here, going there, and the engagement online will definitely drop lah. The moment we are let out of our jail, I think the content, the time that we spend online will go down for sure, because we will be on the road in traffic and whatnot. But yeah, still I think the usage of technology has changed. Like we are seeing people using Zoom, we are seeing people using webinars like we are doing right now. My office personally, we are definitely implementing work from home. Definitely, I am 100% like, before this, right, we were very, wow, Kali's happy, wow, senyum, yeah, I haven't told the rest of the team yet, but for us, right, we have always been thinking, want to work from home or not, because we are startup, progressive, want to be like, we want to attract the millennials, right? So we never took the jump. We never took the leap to say like, let's work from home, but now it's proven to me that work from home works. So we're definitely seeing, I'm definitely going to implement it. So I think that's also going to be a behavioral change. And actually, just looking at one item at a time, right? You look at work from home, then immediately you know already what are the things that impact people working from home. I mean, I had to set up because last time I used to work in the office till 10, so I never really need an office chair, office table. Now 2 weeks in the MCO, backache, I have to like set up my table, and I went back to office. As you can see, I took all my buntings back. So, I have to bring a chair home, bring a table, buy proper. I got new extension cords, things that can help me to set up my own home office. So I think these are things that we will see more sale of, because I think a lot of companies will start to allow working from home. That's one behavioral change. A lot of people will eat in more, because we and cook more as well, because we realize now that actually we can cook. A lot of us. So these are the changes that I see, the consumption patterns, just based on my own personal view. Kalis, would you like to add anything? Sorry, I hijacked your whole session,
Yeah, Dominic, you asked a very good question, to be honest. I read somewhere, it's more related to fitness, but it might apply to each an individual. So last time when I wanted to venture into fitness, right, there's a quote saying that it takes 21 days to build a habit and 90 days to build a lifestyle. So I think since MCO has been more like maybe more than about 21 days, roughly. So I think there will still be people using digital. I mean, people using digital are still digital concept idea. Will still going up. It is that it's not as big, as drastic as during the first day or first week of MCO. Yeah.
Okay, so we already reached our 1 hour, but we can take some more questions if you all have. I'll give you 1 minute, maybe if you all have any questions. Otherwise, this will wrap up the session. We will try to do webinars once a week. Let us know if there are any topics that you want us to cover specifically. So on the influencer front, we actually have webinars like how to edit videos, how to do live stream. We have how to write a proper proposal, very how to, because influencers need some training. But for the brand side, we we don't want this to be a selling session where we keep telling you about our packages. We want to talk to you about, maybe we can grow together as well. Like, what are some of the things that you want to know more about? Then we can gather more people together and then we can discuss. Let us know. And if you guys have any questions for Kalis, you can email him. I'm going to type down his email as well. So Karen is in charge of the live stream and the Confirm Plus Chop. And Kalis is in charge of the normal sushi vid. So live stream, basically right now, we just kind of like, we were preparing for this since September last year, but then it really only took off during the MCO because suddenly everybody decided that they also want to do live streaming. So our platform is ready for live stream, and we also have live stream accounts set up. If you guys don't have your own social media account, don't have your own selling accounts on the e-commerce marketplaces, please do set them up. And if you really don't want to, because you only have 1-2 products, let us know. We can sell it for you through our seller account as well. So this wraps up the session. I guess there's no further questions. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope it was helpful for you. Leave us a feedback so that we can improve. And thank you for your 1 hour. Thank you so much. Goodbye.